Hello again, here we are in the hive, getting ready to go, and the actual main quest segment here. Gotta go talk to the dude in the garden pods. Pod 301. Not that I need to figure out where 301 is, because there's a fucking info link that leads me to everything that I could ever want to go to. Which is cool and handy, but it sometimes is a little bit tedious. Alright. And here we are.
你在浪费我的时间。我听说他们想把改变和对那个
感受到他坏脾气的人人情一点。
那我们这些租房的怎么办？把我们都赶出去吗？
他们不能这么做。
有些人已经在这住了很多年了。
Oh, this is going to be one of those kinds of places. That's awesome. In some areas in Japan, I didn't know they had them in China too. They have pod hotels where it's just a stack of fucking slide in and sleep things. Is that what this is gonna be? Oh boy.
Jensen, I was on my way out.
What are you doing here, Malik? I told you I got this one.
I know. I didn't do anything. Trust me. Van Bruggen's all yours.
Hang on a second. Something's wrong. What is it? Why are you here?
It's nothing. I mean, can't a girl have secrets?
I'll be concerned.
Of course, but I can tell something's bothering you. And I'm concerned. What's going on?
I just had to look into something. For a friend. She deserved better.
I'm listening.
Fine, since you're so damn curious. Years ago, I used to live here, remember? My friend, my best friend, Evelyn. She was like a sister to me. Made living here fun. But then there was an accident. She's dead.
I'm sorry, Malik.
Wait, Jensen, let me finish. I thought I was okay with it, but I know she didn't just die. She was killed. Murdered. Her damn scumbag boyfriend did it. I know he did. I knew he was trouble right from the start, but she just wouldn't listen to me.
Malik, easy. If your friend was murdered, the police would have suspected something. They would have investigated.
That's just it. There was no investigation. They said she fell down a flight of stairs like it was some kind of freak accident. But her wounds, the way she died, they don't add up. It's right here in the damn blood spatter analysis.
Blood spatter? You've seen the police report?
Yes. A friend left a copy of it in a pod here for me to pick up. Listen, I know it sounds crazy, but I think there's been a cover-up. I just have to prove it. If I could get my hands on the autopsy report, the one that never surfaced, I know I'd get the truth. Except...
Why do I suspect I'm about to get dragged into something?
Look, Jensen, I'm sorry. I know Van Bruggen is the priority here, and I told you it was my business and I could take care of it. It's just... The more I think about it, the more I realize I'm in over my head. I'm just a pilot. I'm not a damn cop. But I need to know the truth.
This autopsy report, once you got your hands on it, what were you planning on doing next?
And does it involve my penis?
I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm a pilot, not a cop. But I felt I had to do something while I had the chance. Maybe once you get the report and we know what it says, we can improvise.
Improvise. Fucking improvise. Tell me about your friend.
Tell me about Evelyn.
She was beautiful. Carefree, loved to have a good time. I met her during my internship for a private transportation and logistics firm here in Shanghai. She was a great pilot, too. Knew how to feel the currents, to push the bird just so. Too bad her talents for reading the wind didn't translate to reading guys.
How so?
She was always getting into trouble with the wrong crowds. And it always had to do with some boy. She knew I didn't like him. Her boyfriend at the time, Lee. It drove a wedge between us, and when we parted ways, it wasn't amicable.
I understand.
She was a good girl, Jensen. She deserved better.
You said you've seen the police report. Who gave it to you?
An old friend who was also a good friend of Evelyn's. He used to work for the Shanghai PD. He left a copy of it along with a few other things concerning Evelyn in a pod here for me to look at. He also left some instructions on how to contact someone at Lim for the autopsy report he's convinced was intentionally buried.
Why would Lim have anything to do with Evelyn's autopsy report?
Well, if you haven't noticed, the Chinese government has been outsourcing branches of its public services for years. Bell Tower polices the streets, and nowadays Lim does more than just cosmetic surgery. They're often contracted for special cases like Evelyn's.
And what made Evelyn's case so special, you think?
Her boyfriend, Lee. He was at the scene. He had Evelyn's blood on him and tested positive for alcohol and drugs in his system. With his rap sheet, it wasn't looking good for him. But his family, they're on a lot of boards with deep pockets and a lot of reach. They wouldn't suffer the embarrassment of having their son indicted on a suspected murder charge.
Why do you suspect Evelyn's boyfriend had something to do with her death?
Because he was poison, right from the start. Born into money and influence, but never once assuming responsibility for anything. I don't think he's worked an honest day in his life.
So he was a wealthy, pig-headed asshole. If that was reason enough to accuse someone of murder, half the world would be in the pen.
No,
Seriously?
there's more to it than that. He's known for violent outbursts, domestic altercations. He nearly killed a kid over some stupid gambling feud. The problem is, his family made him untouchable, even to the police.
And Evelyn was okay with all of this?
She always tried to see the good in people, give him the benefit of the doubt. You could say that's just being naive or even stupid, but I think she was just innocent.
Right. Yeah, what the
Okay,
hell?
I'll help. What do you need me to do?
My lead, he works for Lim. He's a systems technician who apparently has access to their entire database. He's willing to hand over a copy of Evelyn's autopsy report.
So you want me to meet him and get the report? Is that it?
Yes, but he'll only respond to a certain phrase. Death and life have their determined appointments. To which he'll reply, riches and honors depend upon heaven.
God, I
Christ,
hope it
Malik,
remembers
this is
that for
starting
me.
to sound like something out of a bad spy movie.
I know. He's just trying to protect himself. I didn't pick the damn quote. So just play along and remember the line, okay? You'll find him inside the lobby of the Lower Hengsha Lim Clinic.
Does this guy have a name?
None that I know of. But he apparently goes by the handle Anonymous X. I know.
Oh my god.
X.
He's part of Anon.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, before I forget, everything concerning Evelyn's incident, newspaper articles, the police report, Lim details, it's all inside pod 009 here in the hotel. You should read over everything if you can.
Pod 9. Got it.
I need to go. Contact me with any updates and... Thank you. I really appreciate this, Jensen.
Of course, hot cheeks.
Through a combination of ion seeding and geothermal management.
Forgive me, Mr. Darrow.
Alright.
Many people believe that your Arctic Ocean installation is more risk than certainty. When will we be able to see the true birth? If you would like to hear more of my exclusive interview with
Yep,
Mr. Darrow,
it is one of those. That's awesome. See, and they're just little pods. You go in and sleep in. Pocket secretary. Fly girl, the Lim contact has agreed to meet you tonight. I don't know how large or small this window of opportunity is or how long it will remain open to us, but the thing is, it's what we have to go on and we can trust him. Hopefully. He holds the biggest piece of this puzzle. I'm sorry I can't be more help than this. As much as it pains me to see Lee walk, my hands are tied. If my supervisor found out I was even talking about this, he'd have my badge. I've attached a copy of the police report filed the night of the incident. The original transcript has been practically gutted by IID. So as you will no doubt see, the autopsy report should help fill in the blanks. P.S. You owe me a pocket secretary. Weaky face. 23-year-old Caucasian female. DOA for probable fall down the stairs. Only witness his boyfriend found at the scene. Had severe head trauma, cranial lacerations, internal bleeding, swelling, likely cause of death. Suspect Li Hong. On such and such at approximately 23:49 hours, personnel from the LHPF responded to a distress call from Li Hong. Transcript recording 209E-11. Upon arrival at the screen, the responding officer witnessed the victim on the ground. The victim was unresponsive. First responder pronounced the unit victim dead at 0200, or 2 minutes after. Victim was transported somewhere for further evaluation and possible treatment. Suspect, wearing a shirt covered in what appeared to be victim's blood, was questioned by responding officer Sergeant Magi. Seriously? His name was Sergeant Magi? Right. Suspect was visibly distressed, claiming victim had been drinking prior to the incident and had fallen. Suspect was tested, confirming suspicion of intoxication, was then detained and transported for further questioning until after EMT unit cleared him for release. Suspect later claimed incident occurred moments before calling to LHPF emergency, roughly between 23:40 and 23:45 hours. Further screening and urinalysis revealed narcotic element EXT9 in suspect system. Suspect remained in custody until blank for being released. Forensic evidence at the scene turned up inconclusive data to support suspect's claim. Blood splatter analysis concluded that while blood cast-off patterns matched those of a fall, there was no evidence of low to medium velocity impact splatter to match victim's wound and the probable cause of death, blunt force head trauma, and intracranial hemorrhaging. Further investigations into the case are suspended until post-mortem evaluation and autopsy is concluded. Evelyn Carmichael, a young woman in her early 20s, became one of the latest victims claimed by the deadly Yuzhou rooftops that authorities are clamoring for stricter safety regulations and zoning permits. Sources close to the victim say Evelyn had been out celebrating when her boyfriend went before the incident occurred. A witness, whose identity was not released, claimed she slipped and fell while descending one of the many staircases that connect the Yuzhou and Koigan rooftops with Panbang Street below. Police believe alcohol or drugs may have influenced the fatal accident, but officials claim that the tragedy could have been avoided entirely if the laws were different. With elections just around the corner, Evelyn's death will no doubt spark a host of new debates and controversy concerning citywide safety regulations. Rooftop-related injuries and deaths have steadily risen in the last 5 years and make up over 60% of all recorded accidental fatalities every year. Get upstairs and talk to that guy.
Millionaire Hugh Darrow has
Shut up, I don't care about millionaire Hugh. Are you hookers? Seriously? You got hookers in the pod hotel? Because, you know, nobody would be able to hear that echoing throughout the building.
You're referring to the Panchea project, the cooperative
There is in serious trouble, Eliza. And it's time that we as a species step up.
Knock knock, sunshine.
Forget it, man. You're not my type.
This isn't a booty call, Van Bruggen. This is about you and some friends of yours I met in Detroit.
Detroit? Yeah, okay. I got it now. You at Serif, right? You were there when I had to pull the plug.
So you admit it. You were running a mole.
The heck, man. Just the heck. Worst decision I ever made taking that gig. As you can obviously see.
You attack my people, Windmill. You hope to walk away from this, you tell me what you know.
Down, boy. I've got no allegiance to that backstabbing bitch who hired me. Especially after she painted a target on my back. The girl you want is Zhao Yunru, Tai Young Medical's CEO.
Tai Young Medical? They're Serif's biggest competition.
How do you think they got that way? Zhao doesn't like competition, see? So she uses hack attacks, blackmail, extortion, anything she can do to destabilize him. No offense, but Serif was just the latest in a long line.
You got any proof of this?
There's a surveillance recording in the Tai Young Tower. I stashed it on the server in case I ever needed an insurance policy.
Not a very smart place to hide it, seeing as you don't work there anymore.
Things got hot before I could move it. And now, I got you to get it for me.